Breaking news, according to the Irish Mirror, that the royal family will be discussing the removal of the titles of Harry and Meghan. And so the article reports that their titles and peerages will be up for discussion, and that this year's Balmoral gathering will also be about discussing how the family can best move forward without the Sussexes. Harry's official titles are the Duke of Sussex, Duke of Sussex, Earl of Dumbarton, and Baron of Kilkeel. The source who spoke with the Irish Mirror said that it would be easy for King Charles to strip the Sussexes of their gifted titles such as Prince. There could be a challenge made if any peerages were removed. So this is something that would have to be navigated extremely carefully. So the title of Prince and HRH are gifts from the sovereign and can be stripped very easily, but Harry's dukedom, earldom, and barony would have to be removed by an act of parliament, which could throw up a lot of unnecessary problems and unwanted media attention. So now we're going to ask the cards. Reading for King Charles. Is he wanting to discuss removal of the titles at Balmoral this year? Sorry. So is this something he wants on the agenda? The mind and meditation. So, yep, it's been weighing on his mind, and he would like to get it discussed so that he can have some resolution one way or the other. And what is his initial view, just before they've had the discussion, what is his initial view as to what needs to happen about the titles? Mantra. He's not exactly sure what the solution is, but it's just going round and round and round in his mind. Okay, now we're going to ask with different cards. Does Queen Camilla want the issue of the titles discussed at Balmoral this year? Does Queen Camilla want the issue of the titles discussed at Balmoral this year? Eight of Swords. I release myself from self-inflicted binds. So, yeah, she's been finding it quite challenging, quite tiresome, and she just thinks that these, especially the title gifted by the sovereign, so the Prince title and the HRH, she feels are self-inflicted binds. They're something that ties Harry to the royal family in a way that is, it's kind of self-inflicted. They're the ones who gifted these titles, and these titles, she specifically wants these titles discussed. And what is the outcome that she wants? Oh, the Tower. It says, I surrender and know how to go forward. Yep, there's a lady falling out of the tower and the man falling out of the tower, and I'm getting with this crash and burn. She wants this to be their Tower moment. She just wants them gone. She wants that prince and princess title gone. That's causing the impression that the Sussexes are representing the royal family, and she just wants it gone. Now we're going to ask the cards, does Prince William want to discuss this at Balmoral this year? Confidence, positivity. Yep, he does want to discuss it. He wants to get some kind of a resolution. And what is his view? What does he think should happen with the titles? Temple, inner being, sacred space. So yeah, he views the prince title as sacred. It's something that he's taken extremely seriously, and he's worn his prince title with pride, and he's taken it on as a sacred duty. And he feels that if Meghan and Harry are not going to be treating their well, especially the prince title as a sacred thing, then it needs to go. Look at these fish. It needs to be in the past. These fish are looking to the past. Okay, Princess Catherine, does she want to discuss the issue of the titles at Balmoral this year? Passion. Oh yeah, she's burning with life's passion. The lion, of course, is a symbol of the royal family. She's tired of the nonsense created by the Sussexes, and she's very passionate about maintaining the royal family, their good name and their good honour. And so she thinks it needs to be discussed. So what is the outcome that she wants from such a discussion? Let's have a look. What is the outcome that Catherine wants? Moon law, ebb and flow. So in her mind, she knows and understands that there's a cycle to everything, and it's time to close out the cycle of toxicity with Meghan and Harry. They've complained so much about the royal family. Why not release them? See that bunny running away? Why not release them? Give them what they want. They wanted to be out of the royal family. Unburden them from that royal title and let them, let them be free. Free them from the burden of the royal title. They said they didn't want to be in the royal family. Give them what they want. Close off the cycle. So all of that's about the prince title. So what about the other ones, the ones conferred that can be removed by Parliament only? What does Catherine think about that? Your path, it says, you have to follow your own path. So she's not fussed about those, the Earl and the Dukedom and the Barony. She's not fussed about those. Parliament must do what Parliament's going to do. They need to make their own decisions. She doesn't think that it's any of the royal family's business as to what happens with those other titles. She just wants the prince title gone. She understands that also that it cheapens the titles for her children when Harry and Meghan carry on the way they've been. They go on their fake royal tours. They pretend to be representing the crown when they're actually not. They're kind of giving a false impression, and she doesn't like that. She understands that it cheapens the crown. But the Baron, Dukedom, Earldom, well, there's tons of earls, there's tons of dukes, there's tons of barons. So she just thinks that's for Parliament to decide. It's not really any of her business. What does Prince William think of those titles that can only be removed by Parliament? Protection. Adornment. Oh, no. Armament. It's strength. Boundaries. Aura. So I'm getting from this card that similarly to his wife, he does think that there's a boundary there. The boundary is that the titles that only Parliament can remove is up to Parliament to deal with. It's a boundary that he doesn't want the royal family to cross. He might have a personal opinion, and his view is that he just wants the royal family protected, but he doesn't think those peerages, as they're called, the ones that Parliament can remove, he doesn't think those really have much to do with, or if anything to do with the royal family. He's not really concerned about those ones at all. So what does Camilla think about the dukedom, earldom, barony that would need an act of Parliament to remove? What is her view on that? Nine of Pentacles. I take time. I need to nurture myself. So again, I'm getting from this that Queen Camilla, she's not all that fussed. She's feeling enriched by being in the royal family. She enjoys being in the royal family. She loves the royal family, most of them. Well, I think she actually does love Harry. She's just concerned that he's been led astray. But again, I'm getting from this card that she needs to focus on the business of the royal family and not the business of Parliament. So take time to nurture myself. She doesn't want to be involved in that. She wants to only have consideration for the titles that the king can remove. And the king himself, what does he think about the Duke, Earl and Baron titles that only a Parliament can remove? What does the king think of that? Aim at God. Ooh, okay. Okay, I've got the book out for this one because I'm not exactly sure what this card is telling me. And it says, you're being called to dedicate your life to walking with God. And that's King Charles is the head of the Church of England, isn't he? Orient your life this way and dedicate everything you do to serving God. To assist with this aim, create a set of routines, practices that you can perform daily that will help you to stay on track with your intention. So, just in here, the yogic conception of God is called Brahman and is significantly different from that found in Western religion traditions. Brahman is not a separate being watching and judging us, but rather the unmanifest realm of pure potential, a field of pure energy and consciousness, the one source from which flows all manifested things. Brahman is not separate from existence, but it is existence. So I'm getting from that the stress and strain of Harry and Meghan doing all their weird things, popping up, not popping up, saying they're going to come, saying they're not going to come. This was obviously previous years when they actually were invited to Balmoral. All of this nonsense is just really weighing on the king, and it said, "Be one with God," or aim at God, and God was existence. Is that what it said? God was existence. So I'm feeling that this is almost the king is fighting for his very existence at the moment. This cancer battle is taking more out of him than we could ever know, and for the sake of his health and the sake of his existence, not only the physical existence in this world, but the sake of his existence as king, so for the people to continue to support and approve of him, that he needs to take action where he can, but not spread himself too thin and not get involved in the political side of things, which would be the baron dukedom and earldom. Now, I'm also getting that the very existence of the monarchy might be at stake, or he might think that the existence of the monarchy is at stake. So he again, he doesn't want to interfere with what Parliament can do or should do. And that just brings me to mind that Harry was saying that he wants his father to interfere with the committee that decides IPP status and whether he and Meghan should get special protection. Which of course his father can't interfere with that committee, and so his father knows that he needs to draw a line somewhere. And I wonder if the king removes Harry's prince title, whether that's going to put a hole in Harry's legal argument for needing to have that IPP status and that extra security, because although he will always be the son of the king, if he's no longer a prince of the realm, then that might further the position that Harry should not be given the special treatment. And by the way, the IPP status and that special top-tier security in England is only automatically given to the king and his wife, the queen, and Prince William, the heir to the throne, and Princess Catherine and their children. Those are the only people. Even Princess Anne, who's the hardest working royal, does not get that full-time security that Harry wants. So, yeah. So now we're going to do the Shapeshifters card and see what does Harry think, or what is he going to think when he sees this article, when he hears this, the Golden Phoenix. This just reminds me of Harry's golden beard. Something you thought was finished bursts back to life. So he might have thought that the issue of the titles was done and dusted, that he was secure in remaining a prince because it wasn't removed right at the time. So he might be surprised that this is coming up now. The other thing that the article said is that if Harry is stripped of being a prince, then the titles may be removed from his children as well, the prince and princess titles. But they also said that the king is very conscious about his grandchildren, and so that would be something that he would consider. But to be honest, if the prince and princess titles are removed, they would still be able to use the Dumbarton titles, so they wouldn't be completely removed. But the funny thing is that the Dumbarton title is the one that Meghan refused to use for Archie because she didn't want the title for him that had the word dumb in it. All right, I just need to clear and reset my energy. My mum came through. It's 5 a.m. and she's unwell, and so I had to just take care of mum. And you know, when I see what a shambles this family is in, it just makes me appreciate even more the family that I have. So if Harry and Meghan can teach us one thing, that's to appreciate our families. Obviously not toxic, abusive families, truly toxic, abusive families, but most of us, many of us, are fortunate enough to have good families, loving families. They're not perfect, but yeah, they're not like this either. Okay, so Harry, what does he think, or what is he going to think when he sees this news? So he thought the issue of the titles had been resolved. He thought that it was not going to be brought up again. A beautiful rat. Take care of yourself. Oh dear, I wonder if this is the rat, the rat that ratted out the royal family, that spoke out of turn, that said things that he shouldn't have said. Told stories about the royal family, and all he wanted was to take care of himself. Not showing loyalty to the family who made him who he is, Prince Harry. We all know Prince Harry. So he's pretty self-centered. I'm getting from that card that he doesn't think that they're going to do this. What do you think? Do you think the king and Prince William will get together and decide to remove the prince title? Do you think the king will have the backbone to do that? A lot of people see the king as soft. What does Harry think? What does Harry think? What does he think of the news that they're going to be discussing it this time around? Ooh, a twist in the tale, the unexpected, a change you did not see coming. And so again, this ferret, he's a guy that's on hyper alert. And isn't it interesting that the first card we got from him was this beautiful red and black and everything, and then the next card is washed out. So what I'm getting is this is Harry in his glory days with his flaming red beard and when he had flaming red hair, and that was him in the royal family, and that's kind of still how he sees himself. But then he told tales that he shouldn't have told, and look, all the colors washed out. So he's transformed into this colorless rat. I'm just reading energy. I'm just telling you what the cards say. I'm not saying anything for truth or fact. This is just my opinion. I'm just reading the energy of the cards. So then he became the rat. He told stories he shouldn't have told. And look, now he's even paler. All the color has gone out of his life. All the excitement, all the meaning. And he did not see this change coming. He did not see. He's very nervous of them even talking about it. He did not see that this was going to come. And we're going to ask a little later, I'm not going to run this for too long, but we're going to ask a little later what has spurred this conversation, this summit. So finally, does Harry think the title of Prince will be removed from him by his family? Pose brave flight. You will not let fear stop you this time. So this is my card of the so-called freedom flight when Harry and Meghan escaped from the royal family. So this is an interesting one. They brought it on themselves because they're the ones that decided to leave, and they thought it was so brave. But you see, it's still coloured here. Even though they left the duties, they still wanted to have all the perks and the privileges, and that's seen very clearly by how he still wants to continue having free security. When people in Britain are literally living on the poverty line, can't afford to pay their electricity, there's a crisis in the streets, he still wants the British taxpayers to fund his lavish security costs. Okay, Meghan. What do you think Meghan's going to think of all of this? What will Meghan think when she sees this article in the news saying that the royal family is going to be discussing life without the Sussexes? Curiouser and curiouser. Life is a bit of a game to her. She's wondering. She's curious. She wishes she could be there. She wishes she could be a fly on the wall. Does she think that they're going to discuss removing Harry's title, his prince title? Not sure. Again, curious. I wonder what will happen next. And this is my card for, this reminds me of perhaps that cottage that they used to live in that was only palace adjacent at best. And here she is reading her journal. That was the journal that she found after they moved out. What was the name of that place? Okay, my friends, just help me out in the comments. Remind me what was the name of the place that was palace adjacent and wasn't good enough for her. So she's got an air of curiosity about her. Of course, she always thinks that she can overcome anything. So she's not convinced that they're going to remove the prince title. They don't think she doesn't think they've got it in them, but she's curious. She's very interested. She wishes she was a fly on the wall. Oh, this is upside down again. Mortality. Oh, got this in the last reading for Meghan as well. She does not want that prince title removed. The prince title is the thing that she clings to because she wants to be like Princess Diana. So there's the Princess Diana blonde wig over Meghan's dark hair. This will really kill her. Remember, in the story she said she wanted to be Princess She-Ra. To me, I bet you she is very disappointed that people don't call her Princess Meghan. And half of me has wondered whether the misbehavior over the years has been an attempt driven by her to get Parliament to remove his other titles, his Earl, Dukedom, whatever, and then the only thing that would be left would be the Prince title, and then she could call herself Princess Meghan. And I think she's always wanted to be called Princess Meghan. And if his Prince title gets taken away, that's the death of her dream of being an actual real-life princess. Okay, so she's worried. She's worried, she's curious, and she's worried. Okay, one final card. Does Meghan think that King Charles will remove that prince title from Harry? And this is the same kind of washed out colours that we got for Prince Harry a moment ago when I said it was their fault for taking the freedom flight and for all the things that they've done to the family and all the tales they've told out of school. This would be the ultimate karma, the messages, life coming back and telling her that you cannot just treat people any way you want to treat them. You cannot mock the Queen, the late Queen, on international television with that fake curtsy. And it came out later that she had curtsied in her role at Suits. There was I saw a video of her doing a curtsy, and I also saw a video of her doing a curtsy in another movie. I can't remember what it was, but yeah. So she basically said she didn't know how to do a curtsy when she clearly did because she'd done it in her acting jobs, and mocking the Queen. And that's something I think that nobody can tolerate, is mocking of the late great Queen, and that's going to come back to bite her. So we are going to look at there's a surrender cards, and it's called the Power of Surrender, and we're nearly finishing up. We're going to have a couple more. I'll do 2 of these, and then I'll do the fortune cards. So, and we'll call it quits. So please like if you do, and subscribe if you haven't. It really helps my channel out. And I'm doing a new thing now that when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a live, and I'm going to pull cards for any subscriber who's on the live. I'm going to pull the cards to so that we can find out what your spirit animal is. So please subscribe if you haven't, and then you can be part of that when we get to 1,000 subscribers. So the Power of Surrender. What do these cards want to tell us? Surrender low self-esteem. So I'm getting from this that Meghan doesn't really feel that she's all that valuable without the Prince Harry title. She loves the Duchess Meghan title, but she much more prefers the Prince Harry title, and preferably the Princess Meghan title. And that would really no matter what else happened in her life, if she got to be Princess Meghan, that would be, that would, in her mind, overcome her low self-esteem. I don't think she thinks she's got low self-esteem, but the way she clings to those titles indicates to me as somebody who's very insecure. Surrender your fear of intimacy. Oh dear. And then it says, you are ready to let love in. Compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. Interesting. And I'm wondering if this card is more to do with this release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. And I think this might be the royal family. It's not so much letting love in, but it's setting a boundary and not letting the love that the king has for his wayward son, rule his heart. So he has to identify and begin to release any patterns that stop him from opening his heart. So he has to open his heart to the future of the royal family. He has to not fear that he'll lose his son if he removes his title, because he needs to understand that sometimes, as a parent, part of loving is you have to say no. If you don't ever say no to your children, even your adult children, things will run amok. So that's what I'm getting from this one. This is more King Charles just has to trust his instinct as a father, and enough is enough. Oh, surrender defensiveness. Yeah, so I think he's been very concerned about removing Harry's princely title because he doesn't obviously want to lose him as a son. And for some reason, the royal family seems to be concerned about being perceived as being petty. Well, anybody who knows anything about the real story of what's happened and all the lies that Harry and Meghan have told and all the intimate details, I mean, talking about his brother's private parts in that book, I still can't get over that. I mean, so it's quite clear for anybody who is listening to the actual facts of what has happened in this family, will know that if the king removes the prince title, he doesn't need to be defensive about it. He doesn't need to explain it. It's plain there for everybody to see. And so until now, he's been a bit defensive about wanting to still protect his son. And it says defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out. Then offer a clear, non-defensive response. So this hear someone out, I think this is the summit that they're about to have at Balmoral. Each person, senior people in the royal family, are going to have this discussion. How can we move forward without Meghan and Harry? And then the clear, non-defensive response is going to be, I'm going to do what's best for this family and for the monarchy, and for those members of the family who have been good, honourable members of the family, and basically cut out Harry. So he won't be cut out from the family, but stop him from being having that royal title. That's the royal title that gives him the star power and the pull. And I'm actually seeing a parallel here between what's happening with the UK on a more global level, where some difficult decisions need to be made, and the king needs to decide, is he going to keep pandering to his wayward son who has left the family and been disloyal, or is he going to put all of his focus and energy and resources into the part of the family that's been loyal and stayed true to the monarchy? And so he, obviously, it's a no-brainer. He has to, cut Harry loose and be the strength, the backbone of the monarchy, because if it continues this way, Harry and Meghan are going to continue to ruin the reputation of the monarchy, and it could actually end the monarchy. And in the same way, the UK leadership needs to look after the loyal taxpayers who've been supporting the government, who've been building the country up over all of these years, and they have to say no to some people. They can't, their resources are finite, so they can't afford, just financially, to look after everybody. So they have to decide who are they going to spend their resources on. And my view is, and I'm getting it very clearly, that they're going to have to stem the tide of that uncontrolled migration. Otherwise, there's just going to be even more of an epidemic of homelessness in the UK, more of an epidemic of people living below the poverty line, because government won't have enough money to look after its own citizens. So now I've turned over the card while I was talking. This is from the Sharina Star Fortune deck, and this is the final message for the royal family. If they go ahead and strip Harry of his princely title, this one fell, so I'm going to read that one. What will happen? They will have luck, good luck. You are right to be strong and optimistic about the opportunities ahead. It'll free them from the millstone around their necks. Moon. Pay attention to your intuition at this time and move forward confidently. So again, the king just needs to, he's going to hear everybody out, and then he needs to just enact a very powerful decision. And the fact that this has been reported in the newspaper, we don't know if it's true or not. Of course, the newspapers can print things or report things that are false. But if it is true, if the king just follows his intuition, listens to the others, and then makes a decisive decision, the luck will return to the royal family. It's not really luck, is it? It's reward after all their hard work and sacrifice. Yes, they do get compensated financially, but they also do a lot of hard work. And so what do you think? Should the king strip Harry of the prince title? Should Parliament strip him of the peerages? For me, I don't really care about the peerages. For me, that doesn't make him royal. It's the prince title that makes him appear to be representing the monarchy. Oh, and I forgot about the other question I was going to ask. I will pull this blast card, and then I'm going to get another deck and ask about the question about why this is coming up right at this time. So if the king and the royal family take away his prince title, what will happen with the king? Or what will be the outcome? Plane, journey. Journey is indicated either physically or metaphorically. Actually, these cards are so clever. I think this card is answering my question as to why this is all happening right now. And why is it all happening right now? Because today, Harry and Meghan are set to jet off to Colombia on another fake royal tour. So I think this is the thing. It's been cumulative, obviously. These two have been doing a whole lot of things that they shouldn't have been doing. But why now? Why are the royal family talking about it now and about to make a decision about it now? It's because of the fake royal tours. They saw what happened when they went to Nigeria. And Harry inspecting the troops, that to me was almost the final nail in the coffin. I had some sympathy for him until that point when he inspected the troops like a true member of the royal family, a working member of the royal family. That just stuck in my craw. I just thought that they really are cosplaying royals. They really are pretending that they are still representing the royal family. And so please like this video if you do, and subscribe if you haven't. And we're just going to get the underlying energy, and that will be the final card for today. Angel. Your angels are guiding you and protecting you on your spiritual journey. And so that's the final card for the royal family, and particularly for King Charles as the head of the Church of England. But of course, he is also he's very inclusive in his belief of faith, and he honors a variety of faiths. And yeah, the angels are on the side of the royal family, and the angels are on the side of releasing Meghan and Harry from the royal titles. Ooh, and the dragonfly. Have confidence during this time of great joy, renewal, and connection to spirit. So if he removes that royal title, there's going to be renewal in the royal family, and look at that transformation. Reach out for the power and strength to make changes, enrich your life, and become the person you really want to be. Let Harry loose, remove that prince title, and it'll transform not only the king's reign, but the monarchy moving forward. Please let me know what you think of this read and of this news. Do you think we can trust it? And do you think the king will remove those titles? And do you think Parliament should remove the titles as well? Is that something that concerns you or not? Take care, everybody. I can't wait to hear your comments.